Well, you heard...
stay right there.
You heard Randy West, and here's the bell. We're kicking off 2025 for Divine Pro with a big elbow and a shot to the jaw, but Randy will take it right back to Ray as both ladies, very D-Max style, very hockey fight style as we kick it off here.
Very, very street fight style happening. But you see, I got the hat. I feel pretty crowned right now.
I noticed the hat. You got the crown of Randy West, but obviously when you take on the mother, you're about to get served. And Ray Larson, as much as she is confident and she's very impressive throughout the wrestling scene, Randy West is another monster veteran that will take it right to you.
Randy West is a very, very high hill to jump in this business, especially for being somebody so seasoned in the business like herself, and especially with this being a spontaneity match. Now, Ray Larson's at a disadvantage because she has now claimed that she is going to wrestle 2 matches this evening.
I mean, that's a bold statement, and I understand it, but, like, Randy West is not someone you can take lightly.
No.
The veteran mind of Randy West is in control with that huge right knee right to the jaw pin attempt. Here we go. Tango trying to check and see what's going on. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. Almost could broken Ray's nose there. That was stiff.
You see, Randy West is an opponent that you take days, weeks, months to prepare going against.
Yeah, you have to because, again, Randy is not afraid to bleed buckets, as she said before this match. But, Ray Larson has really upped her stock, especially in the second half of 2024, making Divine her home in 2025 with a sling blade there.
And imagine if Ray Larson can get this win right off the rip. Getting this W for herself would raise her stock even higher because looking at the accolades of Randy West, being able to go the distance, finish the match, come out on top, that would be massive for Ray Larson's stock within Divine Pro Wrestling.
Massive hip attack in the corner, going for the second one. Randy smartly getting out of the way. Is that veteran mind from Randy West that you cannot take lightly. You give her an inch, Randy will take her a mile, knows all the rules, knows how to bend them. As you can see, she has up to a 5 count in the ropes there. She does not want to get disqualified by taking her opponent in the ropes and making sure that she does not break any holds or any violence on the ropes. It's now a basement drop kick.
Now, Peapod, you have seen Randy West in a lot of different...
Pin attempt, hold on, 1, 2, sorry.
Anyways, you've seen Randy West in a lot of different precarious scenarios in this business.
That's a definite
you've seen her
truth.
bleed buckets. You've seen her take risks and do the most insane moves that you could only imagine. But in this scenario, this is a lot more hand-to-hand technical combat that we're witnessing
It's
tonight.
no stranger that Randy West is experiencing the deathmatch style. But what's the second half of deathmatch wrestling? Wrestling.
Right.
And
100%.
she knows how to hold her own, especially that House of Truth, graduate of sorts. But Ray Larson is really trying to take down this tree that is Randy West. Here we go. Nice sliding face buster with pin attempt by Tango. 1, 2. Only a 2 count.
Mr. Official Tango Jones.
Yes,
In the ring.
Tango Jones. Nice to see him back, especially with a lot of his back problems and everything.
For sure.
He has struggled with. No stranger to that. And here we go. Little back drop.
That will give Ray Larson back problems.
Yes, it should. Very appropriate. And as both ladies now trying to get up by the count of 10, or this could be a double knockout from our official Tango Jones.
Now, that would be a very interesting scenario because then we wouldn't have a clear answer on who would be coming out on top in this whole back and forth banter that these two have been experiencing with each other.
Look, I give it to Ray Larson trying to not only attempt to take down Randy West and her veteran style, but relentless is the key word here for Ray Larson. She wants to prove to herself, and she will do anything and everything. But as Randy tries to get her on her shoulders, and now Ray is on the fireman carry position, but sneaks out of it with a pin attempt. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, well, here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Oh, she locked it in. Wow.
Ray Larson cinching herself as a dominant competitor.
Here is your winner.
3 seconds.
This one, Ray Larson.
Almost snuck it out just out of nowhere, and Randy is caught off guard for the minimal time.
Everything seems fine, but underneath the surface is fire.
Later on this
Divine
evening.
Pro, it's time for the Juggalo Championship Women's Match!
JCW champ.
Introducing first the challenger.
Can I get a whoop
from the
whoop?
Denny's parking
Come on,
lot?
Reluctant Juggalo, give us
She
one.
is
A whoop, a
high
whoop.
class white trash, the Grand Slam, Ricki Morris. And
Grand
let's
Slam.
give a big whoop whoop representing the 412, the world record holder of the highest elevation women's pro wrestling match. She is the first ever and current Juggalo Championship women's champion, Dynamite Dani Mo!
The inaugural champion, huh?
That's right. I hosted a year-end look back at JCW with Violent J, and Violent J admits he doesn't know why it took 25 years of JCW to have a serious women's division, but making up for it fast here with Dynamite Dani Mo as the very first champion has been defending all over the country, and it's quite an opportunity here for one Ricki Morris. She could be going to Juggalo Weekend in Worcester, Mass if she takes this championship tonight.
Well, originally scheduled, it was going to be a four-way, but a huge opportunity. And like we said, cards subject to change. Ricki Morris is now going at one-on-one, which I feel like is a huge opportunity for Ricki, especially things related into Divine. Lost against Rory Shields in that last woman standing. Won against Rory Shields in that last woman standing, but lost last fall against Rory Shields, and then tried to challenge for the women's title here in Divine, and came up short a couple of times. So Ricki's trying to make a name for herself here in 2025.
And remember, one of the main motifs we've been talking about, me and Peapod, and welcome to the table, Mark. We've been talking about raising your stock in this company, Divine Pro Wrestling, and I think Ricki Morris has a phenomenal opportunity presented to her tonight, where she can easily put herself as one of the big dogs of Divine Pro Wrestling if she can take down Dani Mo and become the next JCW Women's Champion.
Pro wrestling is bigger than it has been in decades, but it's still a small community. You never know who you're going to run into on any given night. Hoodfoot is here, folks. I mean, come on. You never know who you're going to see. Their eyes right now on Ricki Morris, and if she pulls off this win, she's going on the road with the Juggalos is what it means if she pulls off this win against Dani Mo tonight.
I mean, JCW is on the rise, and seeing the women's champion represented here in Divine Pro is a huge statement for us. We're very happy. But Dani Mo, former bodybuilder, really, a hard-hitting style. I've seen some of her matches, and let's not forget the world record highest elevation holding a women's wrestling match. That is wild.
Yeah, that's just insane.
And there's something we have to take into account here with one of the competitors in the ring here. Remember, Ricki Morris has actually been getting kind of pestered, it seems like, by Leela Hall outside of the ring here in Divine, seeming like Leela wants to, become a tag team, connect with her in some sort of way?
Leela's stock is rising. Ricki feels like she's fallen behind, but she's becoming the JCW Women's Champion might be a huge step, and those huge strikes there. Well, now a pin attempt, 1, 2, only a 2 count by head referee Alice Lane. And now butterflying those arms and wrenching back on the jaw now is Ricki Morris.
Yeah, that is a compromising position for Dani Mo. But yes, shout out to Alice Lane, a world traveler in her own right, seen regularly on TNA. We've got the best folks here in Divine.
I was going to say,
We really
Divine
do.
Pro has some of the best in this business.
But the strength of Dani Mo might be too much for Dani, and now just taking to Ricki in the corner there.
Dani Mo won that JCW Women's Championship in a battle royal.
I felt
Dani
that
laid that in, yeah. And that made me
I felt that.
glad to be sitting here with you, Summer.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that actually kind of made me a little bit more intimidated of Dani. This is my first impression of Dani tonight, and honestly, she is a phenomenal competitor in this business. But that strike alone, it knocked me silly. My brain would become soup.
It's that bodybuilding background and that strength, but the agility also comes hand in hand with that strength training.
The balance, the core strength of Dani Moe hooks the leg. It's a 2 count only. Dani Moe became champion by winning a women's battle royal on Devil's Night in Detroit, and Ricki Morris was one of the competitors in that battle royal, had a chance to be in the same position as Dani. She definitely wants it on the comeback.
I mean, you got to keep your head on a swivel in a battle royal, but this is a one-on-one matchup. And with everything coming into 2025 for Ricki, she wants to do anything in her power to better her stock, as mentioned before. But Dani Moe may not be the person to do it at.
And remember, as you said, they were both in that match together. This is the best opportunity for Ricki because now she has a go again. She has a redo. She's able to try again, try and get her one-on-one opportunity to get that title in her possession. As
the crowd is chanting for Dani Moe for one more time. Swings and misses, and now Ricki is on the attack, that white trash style, as Ricki likes to use in her matches, but just kicked out of the way, booted across the ring.
Yeah, how's that for defense? Just throw her to the other side of the ring to stop getting hit.
Pin attempt, too, there.
Light work.
I mean, that's probably a warm-up in Dani's world, just chucking women all across the street.
Makes me wonder what the PR is.
I mean, JCW, like you said, that they're coming to Massachusetts. Is that correct?
Yep, Juggalo Weekend, February 14th and 15th. JCW tapings will be happening at the Palladium in Worcester, Mass. And if you follow Dani Moe on Instagram, you would have seen the weekend as we sit here. She went from Maryland, drove through a snowstorm, went back to Pittsburgh, slept for a couple hours, drove through the snow again to come here to Downriver, Michigan tonight. She's a fighting champion.
That's a fighting champion indeed. Pin attempt, very lackadaisical cover there, but she thought that she could put Ricki away with that large lariat there, but to no avail.
And look, Mark, you just laid it out for us. I mean, there's a reason why Dani is the Juggalo Championship Wrestling Women's Champion. Easily. You can read out all the reasons why, but at the end of the day, this match is where it all matters.
Scooped. Backdrop there. 1, 2. Only a 2 count, trapping the arm and the leg together for more elevation and more impact on that backdrop.
Yeah, Ricki Morris fighting for the end of this match to be in her favor.
Ricki went up high and came crashing down. Only one place to go once you're all the way up there, Peapod.
Yep. There we go, and trapping now. The choke, butterflying the legs together and making sure she's wrenching back on that choke, possibly knocking out or choking out Dani Moe. Could see a new JCW champion. Locked it in, pins up 1, 2. Smartly putting her weight down and forcing the break of the chokehold with the pin attempt.
Again, that could easily just be a masterclass move by Dani. That's something that Ricki couldn't have thought of in that time. Again, there is a big difference in how long these two have been in this business.
I mean, Ricki Morris is only just a few years in. Dani Moe crossing, I believe, 5 years experience. But most of the traveling from Dani Moe, you'll learn a lot more than you think when you get out of the area that you are in.
Dani Moe's wrestled all over the world, and now she's setting Ricki up into the corner. Hits it hard.
I mean, Ricki Morris wrestled in before in high school, but this is something different. The more competitors, the heavier competitors, trapping for it, looking like a DDT, calling for it. Here we go. Gets all of it. Big tornado DDT.
Plants the champion's head into the mat.
We might have a new champion if she can scoop Dani out. I think Dani's knocked out. Here we go. So
I
close.
think her brains are soup.
1, 2. We have a new. Oh.
I think Ricki Morris would fit in with the Juggalos.
Sure Ricki Morris can fit in with the Juggalos.
Do you think I would fit in with the Juggalos, be honest?
Everyone's welcome. We're all fam.
Well,
They are all fam. I have heard this.
In the Juggalo club, you are all fam.
In the club.
In the club, we're all fam.
The kids say that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm one of the kids.
Fantastic.
I'm the baby at the table.
Here we go.
Summer still has her card. She is a verified member of the kids club.
Trying to go for that
at the kids table.
Step up in Seguri there. Dani ducks out of it.
Oh,
Planting.
absolutely destroyed. I can't believe Ricki got out the back door there.
The Falcon Arrow did not get all of it.
That was nothing but spine on pine, folks.
Dani trying to rally this Wyandotte, Michigan crowd behind her, trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel, trying to see this match through in her favor.
Dani, I think, is calling for it. This might be her chance. Going up to the top rope, very risky, especially with the JCW Women's Championship on the line. Let's see what Dani has in mind.
High risk, high reward, Peapod.
And then there we go. As we said, high risk, high reward.
But also high damage if done incorrectly.
Here we go. Dani's on the second rope. What's she have in mind?
Giving Ricki a lot of time here again.
Stomps her out of the way. The scrappiness of Randy Morris. Sunset flip. 1, 2.
Push those legs in. No.
Ricki Morris able to get out of that. Dani rallying the crowd.
Gets out of the way. Ricki gets out of the way now. Going up and teaching everybody how to count to 10.
Keeping that reaction time keen is a great thing to do when it comes to an opponent like Dani Mo.
Oh, and now Dani Mo once again powering herself out of it. Looking for a big power bomb. Can she get it?
Compromising situation for Ricki.
Oh, 1, 2. Oh, I thought she had it. She had everything on it. The impact, the leverage. Just not enough. Ricki wants this title. Wants to start off 2025 as champion.
I was going to say, it felt like that Ricki was slammed with the force of 1,000 suns by Dani. That shook the room a little bit, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm impressed with what Ricki is able to take and come back from here. And, she's so lithe, she can just get out of her opponent's grasp.
I think Dani's now taking too much time on the rope and giving, once again, the scrappiness of Ricki Morris chance to get up, but can she...
What's Ricki got in mind?
Can she get Dani off of this and lock in this superplex?
Yeah, Ricki put her legs on the outside, and there's only one way to go from here!
Superplex!
Wow. Absolute display of power.
And both women are down now as Alice is counting to 10. Can either women get up in time? Then attempt 1, 2... Just barely had enough strength to put the arm over end to start the pin.
What ring presence from Ricki Morris. You talk about being a relative rookie. She knew exactly where she was and that she only needed one part of her body to cover the prone champion.
Her awareness was sharpened for that. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Ricki setting Dani up in her eyes. Going for that step up. Oh, a shiny wizard of sorts there.
That connected clean.
God. Oh, we might have seen 1,
This could
2.
be it right here. No.
Wow.
You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
Dani Mo taking absolutely no chances. That was no 2.9. She said hit 2 and she was out of there protecting that championship.
And remember, that confidence is massive in a match like this.
Ricki is overly frustrated now, and this might be the weakness of Ricki. Let's see what she has. Going for it. Oh, swift kick. And I think Dani is out on her legs, and that might be it, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is it. Dani Mo taking the W home here at Divine Pro Wrestling.
And still JCW Women's Champion, Dani Mo!
You can see a lot more Dani Mo, JCW Lunacy on YouTube. Thanks so much for having me here, folks.
Mark,
It's
thank you
always
so
a
much.
pleasure. Always a pleasure. You very quiet Juggalo, you. Thanks for welcoming me to the Juggalo family. That is Mark Roberts of JCW. Huge shout out to JCW and their whole crew for allowing us to present their champion
Give a
here
big
at
whoop
Divine
whoop
Pro
for your
Wrestling.
winner. It's still JCW Women's Champion, Dani Mo!
Andy for the introductions.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Divine Pro Women's Championship. Introducing first, the challenger from the Caribbean, she is the gold standard, Joseline Navarro!
Two-time Divine Pro Wrestling champion, Joseline Navarro.
And her opponent, the reigning and defending Divine Pro Women's Champion, fighting out of Flint, Michigan, the blue-haired harlot, heartless Heather Blue.
You know, all you want, that is our Divine Pro Champion.
You suck.
Sit down.
She's mean to me, man.
I
She's
know
mean to me.
Look, she's mean to everybody, but
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't mean she cannot back it up in the ring.
She can be mean to everybody else, just not me.
Head referee. We're very excited. Alice Lane here.
Oh, we got some Heather fans in the crowd.
I mean,
Should I
there
go
are
punch
some.
them?
Look, there's supporters of Heather Blue. Whether you disagree, what she wants. Look, she can back up the words that she is. She is our Divine Pro champion, and she was all set to go to face Storm Garcon. But again, like we mentioned on social media, cards subject to change. The weather is sometimes very difficult here in the Midwest, especially in the wintertime. But it seems like Joseline Navarro wants to shake the hand of Heather, but she is not having it.
See, there was the first sign of respect that Heather could have given Joseline, and she actively, knowingly turned it down. This is why I don't like Heather Blue. This is I will make a presentation.
No, I mean, that's fine. Here we go. As Joseline really just powers Heather into the corner and smartly getting in the ropes to break the count.
I can't deny that Heather does have some pretty smart plays up her sleeve when it comes to those kinds of
like
things.
I said, has Heather cut some corners here and there? Absolutely. No doubt about it. But at the end of the day, it's wins or losses in the wrestling business.
For sure.
And wins has mattered, and Heather Blue is having her stock rise. As we mentioned before, the theme of tonight is everybody's stock rising. All eyes are on Divine Pro in 2025. And we want to see someone like Heather Blue really be the flagship of our company.
Right. And, you know, when it comes down to something like representing a company like Divine Pro, you have to make sure that you are a fighting champion.
Yes. I mean, just because a little snowstorm happened, Heather Blue thought
Heather's still here. Look.
Heather's still here, and she's shaking hands, kissing babies, or shaking babies, kissing hands, whatever you want to call it.
You know, I don't think there's any babies being shaken, Peapod, but I really appreciate your effort at that analogy.
That's fine, but Heather Blue now is just slapping, gets out of it, and see?
That was a lot smarter than I expected it to be.
Look, is it underhanded? Yes. Is it unethical? Possibly, but at the end of the day,
PMO, yes.
Yeah, but you're getting inside the head of someone like Joseline Navarro.
True.
And
Very
her
true.
experience and what she has done at places like Naptown Pro and AIW out of the Cleveland area, Absolute Intense Wrestling. But Joseline Navarro is done with the jaw-jacking, done with the talking, and just whipping around Heather Blue, but rolling out of that and catching Heather Blue and just whipping her to the ground there, and now using that strength. And now trapping Heather Blue with a pin attempt. 1, 2, and we almost had a new champion. What a way to kick off 2025. But Heather Blue scoop her up. There we go. And got in the ropes a little bit too close to make the pin.
Now, you know, there's two very interesting styles in the ring tonight with these two. You have Joseline Navarro, who's a very powerful hitter and a very, very strong offensive wrestler. But you have Heather, who's a little bit more calculated on the side. This is a very interesting matchup to see the two go against each other.
Here we go. Joseline off the ropes and a basement dropkick, just taking Heather Blue.
See what I mean? That's what I like to see. Heather Blue getting drop kicked off of an apron. I would pay. I'd pay.
I mean,
I'm allowed to have a little bit of a vendetta.
My co-host here on the calls, a little vendetta. I'm calling it right down the middle.
You're
get
a good
it.
man,
I understand
Peapod. I am not.
That's what they say, allegedly. But the point is that now the count is going on, and the title cannot change hands after a 10 count. So maybe Heather wants to do that count out. Heather maybe
might be smarter.
I mean, do you want to keep the title? Yes, the title can only change hands on a pinfall submission.
Exactly.
But once again, 1, 2, Joseline going for that pinfall, maybe just not enough.
See, that resiliency of Heather Blue is very, very... It's apparent in a match like this. You have to be able to withstand those strong strikes.
I mean, if you roll in circles like AIW, when you roll in circles like Naptown Pro, you got to be tough. But Michigan is built tougher as only a 1 count.
Yeah, Heather, that was a 1. That was a 1.
That was indeed a 1. Not enough to take down Joseline Navarro. We've had a huge night already, and we still have our co-main event.
I was going to say, we got one more big match coming in after this one.
But here we go. Here's the calculating nature of Heather Blue. Using, her opponent, choking and using the full up to 5 count.
And breaking down the opponent as well. You have to remember that at the end of the day, it's about how much can you get your opponent to a weakened state to keep them on the ground for 3 whole seconds.
I mean, like I said before, that 3 seconds is the longest and the shortest time a wrestler will have inside of that ring, especially when you're trying to trap your opponent put them down for 3 seconds, or if you're on the opposite end, trying to break out of a 3 count predicament.
Exactly. It's a very, very hard and decisive action in the match. But at the end of the day, it will decide ultimately who comes out on top.
Heather trying to knock down as you mentioned, the more powerful Joseline Navarro on the ring, and I feel like that's what she needs to do. Oh, hold on. Ooh!
That was weak.
I mean, I don't know. I heard that thunk. Ooh, but never mind.
Wow.
Heather might be hitting hard. Joseline hits harder.
It seems like we might see a little bit of a striking match.
Well, I mean,
who can hit the hardest?
I mean, heartless Heather Blue trying to go on the attack and trying to take it, but the agility of Joseline, very nice there.
That was a very, very nice way to pin your opponent.
I mean, catch them off guard, but not enough. But Heather Blue is in control now. I mean, we've seen what Heather has done across other places, like Chaos, like FU, like XICW. We know who she runs with. We know what she brings to the table. As now, Heather trapping Joseline in the corner now. Let's see what she has in mind.
That's a Heather Blue staple right there.
Big knees in the corner.
There's
hitting right in the throat.
Not a match that goes by where that move does not get executed. It is a killer for Heather Blue's opponent. Right in
the windpipe, taking the wind out of anybody's sails.
I was going to say, that's going to rattle your brains a little bit.
Maybe a little bit of a whiplash there, maybe crushing a little bit of the windpipe. You can't do much if you can't breathe. But Joseline Navarro catching Heather with a big capture suplex there.
That's massive.
Just
tossing
Navarro showing the strength and the admiration. That's why she's a 2-time Divine Pro champion.
You see, there's a lot of talent in this ring. Undeniable talent. I mean, look, I can pester and be annoyed about Heather Blue all I want, but at the end of the day, these two people in this ring are very, very fierce and very, very respected competitors.
If you want to be on the top of the ladder here in Divine Pro, Heather is holding that ladder, and she is not afraid to kick it out from under you. But Navarro going there with those huge strikes there. Maybe going for a hat trick. No, got out of the way. Trapping Heather and blocking those elbow strikes. Forcing Joseline to get out of the way now, but trapping Heather into the ropes and see what she has in mind.
Uh-oh. Joseline Navarro calling for a move.
Off the ropes. Oh, once again, a double knees of her own. Oh, wow. Oh, pump kick from the outside. The agility here from Joseline Navarro has been very impressive.
That impact, Peapod, that was... You can hear the bones crack. You can hear the skin hit the skin. It is so painful sounding.
Front drop kick from the second row. Pin attempt. 1, 2, new champion. Oh!
Kick out at 2 by Heather Blue. At the end of the day, this match will decide who is the face of Divine Pro.
Well, I mean, in 2025, Heather Blue is holding the title high, and I'm sure some of the competitors we've seen tonight want a taste of Heather Blue. It's only a matter of time before Heather has to face off against any of the competitors we've seen tonight, and then some. 1, 2, only a 2 count from that backbreaker variation there from Heather Blue.
Heather Blue again. That was one of the very hard hitting uses of the mat. Heather Blue likes to use. I will say, again, these two very respected, very, very fierce competitors. But at the end of the day, whoever comes out on top will be decisive on who can stay on their opponent longer, who can outlast these long dips in the match.
The cockiness of Heather Blue is showing in full strength, but maybe taking too much time. Let's see what she has in mind from the top rope. Double stomp on Joseline Navarro. That might do it. 1, 2. Only 2 count.
Just a 2 count here.
But Heather Blue now showing her frustration, throwing a temper tantrum there, and I don't think you want to do that, especially someone like Navarro, who's trying to get her on her feet now.
Again, mental clarity will be your best friend in a match like this. You have to stay sharp. You have to stay keen. Your only way to get out of these scenarios is by using your wit.
Here we go. Heather Blue going for a tornado DDT. Blocks out of it. The strength from Navarro and a pump kick to take Heather out. Pin attempt 1, 2. No champion, maybe not. Only a 2 count as Navarro now showing her frustration here on what's going on in this Wyandotte crowd, hungry for more wrestling.
I was going to say this crowd rallying behind the competitors in the ring tonight.
Shots in the midsection in the corner. Once again, Alice Lane telling her competitors to get out of the corner. Only got up to 5. We don't want to risk a disqualification. And I think Navarro has something in mind, setting Heather Blue out, but she might be knocked out. I think she woke up just in time.
I was going to say, you got to have a little bit more mental awareness in a situation like this. You are up at the top rope, the most riskiest place in the ring.
There we go. Going for a superplex here, but Heather Blue blocking it. Very smart here. Getting Navarro back on a vertical base on the ring. Just strikes. Oh, rake of the eyes from Heather Blue. Oh! Top rope jawbreaker. That might be doing 1, 2, 3.
You've got to be kidding me.
Here is your winner, and still Divine Pro Women's Champion, Heartless Heather Blue.
Ricki, that insane match against Dani for her JCW title. I mean, she retained her title, but you gave a hell of a bout. What happened?
I tried.
Yeah?
I tried. I got this close. Dani got the best of me.
Yeah.
And 2024, there was a lot of heartbreak, a lot of people leaving me, and a lot of fire. But 2025, with this opportunity, we're only getting started. So I'm not going to let this one match set me back, because I have more fire in me.
Absolutely.
It's only a start.
Definitely. Well, I feel that fire burning off of you right now. I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Leela Hall is about to cook, Peapod.
I think so.
This is a great opportunity for Leela Hall as well. Alice Crowley is a very decorated competitor in pro wrestling.
It's time for that moment you've all been waiting for. It's the main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first the challenger from Cleveland, Ohio, Big Al Alice Crowley.
Not making any friends here in the mitten for her debut.
I think if I tried hard enough, I think I could be her friend.
And her opponent, she is your hometown hero from Wyandotte, Michigan, Leela Hall.
Leela Hall is ready for an opportunity of a lifetime here, but taking on Alice Crowley, and I've seen Alice Crowley take it to the strongest, the toughest competitors, man or woman or non-binary, whatever you identify with. Alice Crowley has her hands rated E for everyone.
Yeah, and Dang, the crowd being very vocal about their distaste for Big Al, Alice Crowley.
I mean, under the wings of the Ricki Shane Page,
I was going to say Ricki.
Vincent Nothing, and Christian Napier, Alice Crowley has learned a thing or two about trying to get in the head of your opponent, but really
I was
just take it straight to the crowd. Like I said, the hands are good for everyone.
I was going to say the Ricki Shane Page influence. You got a lot of very devious subjects flying above your head.
Look, I am an RSP fan.
Me too. Love that guy.
No bones about it. He knows what he's doing, and he's brought in Alice Crowley as the only woman in 440, but after things that happened in 2024, 440 is a big question mark, but we're not talking about 440. We're talking about Divine Pro. We're talking about Alice Crowley, who can do very well. Multiple-time tag champion, former Mega Baddies champion in Mega Wrestling in the Cleveland area. But Divine Pro, Alice Crowley, is trying to make her stock once again no more in probably the hottest promotion in the Midwest, Divine Pro.
I was going to say, there's something about Alice Crowley's viciousness now. I think there's a very strong, sharpened edge on every movement, every tactic she takes on in this ring. It is calculated, it is cold, and it is devious,
but
my
the
friend.
Flexibility, the training that she did in gymnastics, in cheerleading, and knows how to get a crowd on her side and feed off that energy is Leela Hall, and almost trapped Alice in that leg lock for a 3 count, but young Miss Hall, only over a year, graduated training, hitting the road, and also just won recently for our friends in Metro Pro, the PWL Television Championship. She won recently, making her first title, and I'm sure young Miss Hall will have more titles in her grasp and in her eyes
100%.
as she does more, and once again trapping Al in that leg lock there.
I was going to say, there is so much opportunity to gain from this match.
Again, that flexibility, Leela Hall on display. Psyching Al out, pin attempt 1, 2. A win over Alice Crowley would be a big feather in her cap. She said she wants to have harder competitors, and this is a match of a lifetime, and that back handspring once again and tripping Al up. I haven't seen Al like this and not on her game in quite some time.
I was going to say, Alice Crowley not getting too far ahead in this match. Leela Hall giving it all she's got.
Well, I mean, she's got to take it and then some. I saw Alice Crowley recently in Chicago go toe-to-toe with 5 other men in a 6-man tag team death match.
Alice Crowley telling the crowd to shut up, and honestly, I think this crowd is not going to stop their support for the young Leela Hall tonight.
Well, Al, once again...
I say young, we're the same age.
Yeah, well, going for her Karana, but caught on the outside and just now banging right on the side of the ring where wood meets steel.
Oh, my goodness. What a show of strength.
And then definitely now the tide has turned right off the bat as Al shouting at Tango Jones to get back inside of the ring. They have until a 10 count or a disqualification will be happening. But Al is taking Wyandotte's own Leela Hall and showing them that, is this your hero? Is this who you're cheering about? And Al, just the baddest of attitudes showing on display now.
Yeah, you got to understand here, Leela Hall is the hometown hero here. Alice Crowley laying this beat down in her has to break some hearts in this room.
I mean, it would definitely be a heartbreaker if Al beats Leela Hall. But Al is here for violence. Al is here for titles. Al is here in Divine Pro.
Alice wants notoriety, and she will get it through the nature that she is performing in. Yes, she will get it.
I mean, young Miss Hall is trying her damnedest here, but she's showing out here. Sunset flip, only a 2 count. Oh, knocked the eardrum. 1, 2, 2 count there from Tango Jones, and really knocked Leela Hall silly, and now going on the attack, slowing it down, making sure Leela doesn't have the opportunity to do more flexible moves, more back handsprings. No, she wants to ground and pound Leela Hall.
I was going to say, it'd be very smart to focus on the tendons and limbs of Leela Hall to restrict that cheerleading background and that flexible background that Leela Hall has.
I mean, this crowd is red hot. I mean, they've been red hot all night, but it has been the hottest that I've heard them. I almost have to shout over them just to hear you tonight.
Yeah, it's absolute. The energy in here is absolutely electric. I'm just so proud to be here. Look, Divine Pro Wrestling is the place to be.
Here we
in
go.
2025.
Shades of Randy West. Big high angle backdrop driver there. Oh, excuse me, Saito suplex. Sorry, they're very similar, but here we go. Called for a look like a lariat, but getting out blocked. And a shot to the head once again. Al going off the ropes. And going off the ropes and a drop kick of her own. Leela Hall stopping Al in her tracks.
Absolutely phenomenal awareness by Leela Hall. Reading Alice Crowley's bounce off the ropes and connecting that leg, that drop kick. Absolutely amazing read by Leela Hall.
I mean, it's very good in trying to weaken her opponent. Leela Hall loves using that broken T, that full Nelson face buster that we've seen her take a lot of opponents out. But let's see if she can hook it in. And somebody like Al, who is just still going after Leela. Now, no wasted movement. It's that experience that she has had throughout the Civil War of 440 throughout 2024. But Al, whether she is by herself or with a squad, knows how to take it to her opponents.
Gonna say Alice Crowley showing off that viciousness with those large forearm strikes back to back.
This crowd firmly in Leela's corner as we hear the boos every time Alice strikes and the cheers and every time Leela strikes. Back and forth from both competitors. And a double chop from Al takes down Leela.
That will rock your noggin, Peapod.
But Leela is back up, and you see it on her face. She pump kick from Leela Hall. She does not want to give up. Another one going right into the throat of Alice. She's holding that arm. Maybe she injured something.
Holding on tight to those ropes. Leela Hall reacting.
Oh! Nice face buster. That might do it. Only a 2 count.
Wow, what an absolute... Again, there is such phenomenal quick wit happening in this ring tonight, Peapod. You saw that quick reaction time of Leela Hall to calculate and reposition herself.
Setting up, got in that full Nelson face buster, the broken T. Can she knock it out? But Al definitely saw that coming. Fisherman suplex with a bridge. Perfectly done. 1, 2.
Phenomenal bridge by Alice Crowley, putting that pressure on the shoulders of Leela Hall.
But Al is shocked that did not put it away. That shows the tenacity of young Leela Hall. She wanted more tough competition. She might have it with Al, but Leela is giving it all she's got and then some. Now, once again, both ladies now, and like you mentioned before, Summer in the high rent district. Going for a superplex here, but Leela knocking in the midsection, knocks off Al.
I'd say getting Alice Crowley off you in that scenario is not easy.
Got some of that huge slap, but maybe not enough, and Leela now squirrels out of it.
Leela
hits her with the power bomb.
Planting Big Alice Crowley.
Oh!
Looking to follow it up.
Oh, fisherman suplex with a bridge of her own, and very nice once again using the calling card.
Absolute back-to-back action here at Divine Pro Wrestling. You saw both of them take their shot and trying to put the other away with the same move, and ultimately we saw a kick out by both of them. These ladies are not done yet.
Very, very impressive by Leela Hall, but Leela Hall now, what does she need to get in? She needs to stay on Al. And this is maybe the naivety of Leela. She's getting frustrated, getting her emotions, the most of her locks in for the broken T, maybe? But that full Nelson face buster, not enough. Al gets out of the way once again. Maybe Al's just too strong for Leela. Leela, once again, now she's on the high rent districts, but Al kicking himself out of the way and trapping the legs. Oh!
Everything comes crashing down.
And it also hurts inside. Now Al gonna put an exclamation mark in this. Oh, Lariat took off her head. 1, 2, 3. That will do it.
Woo. Here is your winner, Big Al Alice Crowley.
I gotta give it to Leela. She fought with her heart and soul, but Alice Crowley is just built different. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Alice is going to the back with a job well done to her. Oh, Ricki
coming out to check on Leela.
Wow.
I am a Leela Ricki truther.
Ricki Morse.
Divine Pro, give it up for your hometown hero,
They're friends.
Leela. Oh,
Notable loner Ricki Morris now is coming out to the aid and helping Leela up.
They're friends.
We seen on Divine's social media that Leela wants to be friends with Ricki, and Ricki was not having it, but after the night...
I hope that they stay the best of friends.
Both these ladies fought so hard tonight, and while they're not winners in the ring, they're winners in life.